We live in an instant world. We see, we shoot, we post, and it's gone. But I've been wondering, when is a moment actually created? When I click the shutter? Or when I look back years later and realize it mattered? Maybe the moment isn't real until we've lost it. Maybe the value comes later, when we need it, when we need to remember. See, a photo freezes a moment in time, and sometimes we don't really know what that moment is going to be when we take that photo. We're just living, and it's something that you see and that you decided was worthy of capturing in that moment. Now, there are like the one-off situations, like a riot or protests, or tragic events where you know that you're capturing something when you capture it. But maybe if you look at even photos from the 70s or 80s or whatever time period you actually enjoy, you'll see that people were just enjoying life. Sometimes people were just they were capturing people on their way to work. The thought of what it may be or what it was going to become in the moment wasn't a thought at all. I think the interesting thing that I think about is that my generation grew up with photo albums. So to me, or maybe to my parents or whatever, they were just documenting the moment, but the people that were in those photos then that are no longer here, now those photos mean a lot more than what they did. And I think oftentimes it's the moments that we take advantage of and we don't realize that we're even taking advantage of it until you have a photograph to look back on. Whenever the presets and the edits and the amount of grain in your photo and the time of day in which you took your photo, once all of that wears away, what are you left with? A memory. If I had to just use the terms that people already use, is don't try to create the vibe, just be the vibe, or just vibe. Just take it, just take the moment. It's like I just scanned in a bunch of film and there's dust and scratches naturally from the way that I did it. Do I like it or dislike it? I don't know. But I didn't try to recreate it in Visco or anything like that. In that moment, it allows me to just shoot and be one with the moment of what I feel like photography is. It's to capture something. And side thought is just that maybe sometimes we get so caught up into what do people see in my work, versus what we want people to see in our work. And even though you own the moment, right? If you could even say you own the moment, or if you own the photograph, that's not for you to determine. Sorry if I'm being cliche by going to Vivian Maier, but if you look at Vivian Maier's life, the photographs that she took weren't developed or weren't exposed to the world until after she was no longer here. So when she was shooting and she was living her life and documenting, was she worried about the gratification? If you know her history, then you know that the answer to that is no. She didn't necessarily pass on in the best of situations. But now her books sell thousands and thousands and thousands of copies. I don't know if it's fortunate or unfortunate, but some of the things that a lot of us are searching for, we may not be here to actually see. Whether you're a photojournalist or a street photographer or a portrait photographer or a fine art photographer, maybe the meaning increases over time. When I took this photo of my boy Justice, I didn't know that it would be the only photo that I have of him on film. And now that he's no longer here, it means so much more. And it sat on a roll of film for, I think it was 2 years ago, maybe 3 years. And that's what makes me feel. And I think that's the importance of what photography is. as a photographer, you are a gatekeeper of time. We have people who write stories, and we have people who document life. And in the medium that you chose, it's a physical stamp of life.